You think you know Class B vans, until this one quietly rewrites the rules. Welcome back to NextGen Motorhomes. And if you're the kind of person who loves smarter travel, fewer compromises, and gear that actually feels thought through, hit that subscribe button right now because this channel is built for how you want to move through the world. Today we're stepping into the 2026 Winnebago Travato, and this isn't just a refresh. This is Winnebago taking everything they've learned from years of real-world van life feedback and turning it into something that feels more confident, more refined, and honestly more livable than ever. Let's start outside, because first impressions matter, especially when you roll into a campground, a trailhead, or a downtown street. The 2026 Travato has that modern showroom look that somehow feels both sleek and rugged at the same time. Clean lines, smooth contours, and that unmistakable Ram ProMaster silhouette give it a contemporary edge without screaming for attention. The paint options lean toward refined and understated, the kind of colors that still look sharp after a dusty desert run or a rainy mountain drive. And size-wise, this is where the Travato shines. At just over 21 feet, depending on the floor plan, it feels compact enough to park in normal spaces, but substantial enough to feel like a real motorhome. On the road, it has presence without bulk. You don't feel like you're wrestling with the wind, and you don't feel invisible either. It's confident, purposeful, the kind of rig people glance at twice because it looks like it belongs wherever it's parked. Step into the cockpit, and this is where two very different perspectives come into play. From the driver's seat, everything feels intuitive and calm. The Ram ProMaster platform gives you a wide, upright driving position with excellent forward visibility. Big windshield, tall seating, and mirrors that actually help instead of stress you out. Long drives feel less tiring because your posture just works. Now switch to the passenger perspective, and it's surprisingly social. You're not tucked away or feeling like an afterthought. You're part of the journey, watching the road unfold, managing playlists, spotting that perfect pull-off spot before the driver even sees it. The controls are clean, modern, and familiar, which means no learning curve panic before your first road trip. And here's a small wow moment people don't talk about enough. The cockpit transitions seamlessly into the living space. No awkward step down, no mental shift from vehicle to home. It feels like one continuous environment, and that matters when you're actually using it day after day. Now we move inside, and this is where the Travato stops being a van and starts being a lifestyle. The kitchen is designed for people who actually cook, not just heat things up. There's real counter space, thoughtful storage, and everything is placed where your hands expect it to be. You can imagine pulling over after a long hike, opening the door, and making a real meal without feeling cramped or frustrated. The dining area adapts to how you live. Morning coffee with sunlight pouring in. A quick lunch stop between destinations. Late-night planning sessions figuring out tomorrow's route. It's flexible, comfortable, and feels like it belongs to you, not just a spec sheet. The bedroom area is where Winnebago's experience really shows. This isn't an afterthought. The bed feels intentional, supportive, and easy to access. You don't feel like you're crawling into a compromise. You feel like you're settling in. After a long day on the road, that matters more than any gadget. And then there's the bathroom, which is one of those surprise moments that makes people stop mid-tour. For a Class B, it's impressively functional. Space is used smartly, privacy is respected, and it doesn't feel like something you'll avoid unless absolutely necessary. You can actually imagine using it daily, not just in emergencies. Alright, before we go any further, if you're finding value here, take a second to like this video and drop a comment letting us know where you take this Travato first. Mountains, coast, desert, or just the open highway. It helps the channel more than you might think. Let's get back to it. Under the hood, the 2026 Winnebago Travato runs on the trusted 3.6-liter V6 gas engine paired with a smooth 9-speed automatic transmission. This setup is all about balance. You get confident acceleration when merging, stable cruising at highway speeds, and predictable handling whether you're threading through city streets or climbing into higher elevations. Front-wheel drive might not sound exciting on paper, but in real-world travel it means better traction in rain, snow, and uneven conditions, plus a lower floor that makes the interior feel more open. On long road trips, the Travato feels planted and composed. Steering is responsive without being twitchy, and the ride quality stays comfortable even after hours behind the wheel. Here's another subtle wow moment. This thing doesn't feel like a motorhome when you're driving it. It feels like a large, well-designed vehicle that just happens to be your home. That confidence reduces fatigue, and less fatigue means more enjoyment when you finally stop for the night. Now let's talk numbers, because emotions and reality always meet here. The 2026 Winnebago Travato typically starts in the mid-150 range, depending on floor plan and options. And yes, that's a serious investment. But here's the emotional part. When you compare it to competitors like the Roadtrek Zion or the Airstream Rangeline, the Travato often delivers more usable space, smarter systems, and a longer track record of reliability for similar money. You're not just paying for a van. You're paying for peace of mind, proven engineering, and a layout that's been refined by thousands of owners who actually live this lifestyle. That matters when you're far from home and everything needs to just work. What really defines the Travato isn't one feature. It's how everything works together. It's the way the exterior blends into any environment, the way the cockpit reduces stress, the way the interior supports daily life instead of fighting it, the way the driving experience encourages you to keep going just a little farther. This is a motorhome for people who value freedom but don't want chaos. For travelers who want adventure without sacrificing comfort. For couples, solo explorers, and weekend warriors who want something that feels just as good on day one as it does after a year on the road. And here's the final wow moment. The Travato doesn't try to be everything. It knows exactly what it is, and it does that exceptionally well. If you see yourself as someone who chooses experiences over excess, who values smart design over flashy gimmicks, and who believes the journey matters just as much as the destination, this might be your rig. So now it's your turn. Drop a comment telling us if the 2026 Winnebago Travato fits your identity as a traveler. Hit like if this video helped you see Class B vans differently. And subscribe to NextGen Motorhomes, because this channel is for people who don't just dream about the road, they plan to live on it. Now, let's get you moving.